Bryan Freedman, Justin Baldoni's attorney, has just shot back at Blake Lively's motion to dismiss. Blake is abusing the legal system. 3 exclamation points. Bryan Freedman tells TMZ Ms. Lively's recent motion to dismiss herself from the self-concocted disaster.
Are you going to sue Blake Lively too?
Into oblivion, Megan. Wait till you see this lawsuit. It's all going to be based on evidence. It's not going to be just a lawsuit. It's going to be the kind of lawsuit that is full of evidence, admissions, documents, which prove exactly what she did.
It turns out Hollywood isn't just about glitz, glamour, and overpriced lattes. It's also a battleground for lawsuit settlements and high-stakes legal maneuvers. Enter Bryan Freedman, the renowned attorney famous for handling high-profile cases. Now he finds himself caught in the middle of a legal showdown that, unsurprisingly, involves Blake Lively. Because let's be honest, when it comes to legal drama, Hollywood's A-listers always bring their own signature flair.
Actually, Blake Lively's publicist, Leslie Sloan, was planting stories negative to Justin. And all Justin wanted to do, and it's all through the text messages. If the New York Times apparently reviewed 1,000 or more pages of text messages, they would have seen it. Justin never wanted to hurt her, never wanted to be negative to her. He wanted to protect the film, he wanted to protect himself, and he wanted to protect her from making negative allegations about him that were made up and that are proven in this case, and how she bullied her way through the process to take over the movie and used her PR people to try and destroy Justin. There's a number of different defendants here. Stephanie Jones will be all over this complaint. That is the PR agent who was supposed to be working for Justin Baldoni. Leslie Sloan, who's another PR agent who will be part of this lawsuit. That was Blake Lively's. Blake Lively will be sued, and we're carefully considering other people that will be sued also. Ryan Reynolds, for sure.
One might assume that lawsuits are resolved through rational discussions, fair agreements, and a firm handshake. But this is Hollywood, where even the simplest disputes escalate into full-blown power plays. And Blake Lively? She's not just sitting back and letting the legal system run its course. No, she's making strategic moves. And according to Bryan Freedman, she's pulling every string possible to push for a settlement. Whether it's through pressure, persuasion, or classic celebrity influence, one thing is clear. This legal battle is shaping up to be a must-watch drama.
What they did was they worked with the New York Times. Her publicist worked directly with the New York Times. They shared illegally obtained text messages. They shared those together. They concocted a complaint that they filed with the Civil Rights Division. They omitted texts that would have provided context, texts that were in the exact same string that would have provided context of what was really going on. And in fact, they actually removed emojis from texts that show that there was satire and there was joking around by the PR crisis agents. I mean, the PR crisis agent.
In Hollywood, people don't just ask for things, they make them happen. If a settlement is on the table, you can bet Blake Lively isn't just sitting around waiting for the paperwork to go through. Bryan Freedman isn't a rookie when it comes to high-stakes legal battles. He's been in the trenches with some of the biggest names in the industry. So if he's suggesting that Lively is making things difficult for the opposing side, there's definitely more to the story. Because let's be honest, in Hollywood, nothing is ever as simple as it seems.
She initiated is one of the most abhorrent examples of abusing our legal system. Freedman says stringent rules are put into place to protect the innocent and allow individuals to rightfully defend themselves, while noting laws are not meant to be twisted and curated by privileged elites to fit their own personal agenda. In his statement to TMZ, Freedman reiterated, as we said yesterday in response to Mr. Reynolds' same cowardly measures, we will continue to hold Ms. Lively accountable for her actions of pure malice, which included falsely accusing my clients of harassment and retaliation. Freedman summed it up by saying Blake's fantastical claims will be swiftly debunked as discovery moves forward, easily disproved with actual evidentiary proof.
So, what exactly is she doing? Well, if the whispers are to be believed, she's allegedly applying all sorts of pressure to make sure this case wraps up as quickly as possible. And no, that doesn't mean she's standing in a courtroom, throwing around legal jargon. Let's be real. Hollywood stars have teams for that. Instead, she's reportedly leveraging her influence in ways that only someone with her level of power can. Whether it's back-channel negotiations, calling in favors, or using her industry connections, one thing is clear. Blake Lively isn't just waiting for the legal system to run its course.
Okay, so this is an excerpt from my new favorite book, which is the website that Justin Baldoni published, all about his correspondence with Blake Lively. And this is one of my favorite excerpts with my new favorite Game of Thrones character, Blake Lively. Are you ready for it? And him serving it back to her is just as important. You don't usually see both the man and the woman with such agency and humor. Anyway, I can act it out for you next week to make sure it comes through. Or I can send it now. Let me know what you prefer. XX. To which Justin Baldoni responded, "Sorry, I was just crying my eyes out as kids and family just left for another 5 weeks and it was a shit show. Heart emoji, heart emoji, heart emoji."
When an A-lister wants something, they don't just ask for it. They mobilize their team, tap into their connections, and sometimes even use the media to subtly push things in their favor. And if there's one thing Hollywood despises more than a drawn-out lawsuit, it's bad press. So if Blake Lively is pushing for a settlement, it's not hard to imagine that certain narratives are being shaped behind the scenes. Now let's talk about Bryan Freedman's position in all of this. He's no stranger to high-profile disputes, and he's certainly not one to back down. But even a legal heavyweight like him knows that when a Hollywood star starts pulling strings, things can get complicated fast. It's one thing to argue a case in court. It's another to go up against an industry machine that thrives on controlling public perception.
Baldoni's the bad guy. And just to lay it out for the audience in a little bit more detail, what she's claiming is that even though she was a much bigger star than Justin Baldoni, who I never heard of before this lawsuit, she's the much bigger star, and she's married to an even bigger star than she is, Ryan Reynolds, that she came in and onto this project and started to get harassed and mistreated by Justin and some others, and that when she then demanded that all of her concerns be rectified, that he did it, but that he was basically lying in wait for when the film would get released in case she went public with what happened, that he and his PR team determined to bury her, to ruin her, and that this wave of bad press we did see about Blake Lively when the film came out this past summer was not organic. It was totally orchestrated by Justin and his team.
Because let's be honest, public perception is everything in Hollywood. If Lively wants a settlement, it's not just about the legal details. It's about ensuring the right version of events is the one people believe. Whether that means strategically using the press, releasing perfectly timed statements, or simply knowing the right people to talk to, it's all part of the game. And here's the kicker. Settlements aren't always about guilt or innocence. Sometimes they're just about making problems disappear.